This is the individual presentation by Ryan Hafen for our team project Stuck on an Island. Um, this was a great project. I really enjoyed the things that I've learned, and I was able to add things that I've learned in the past to this project. So this was a good supplementation to those things that I've learned in the past, and added a lot of things that I didn't know. Some of the stuff that I struggled with was some of the syntax issues and different things like that with Java itself. But I think that just takes time to learn some of that stuff. So, but I do want to share with you some of the things that I have learned, and hope that you can see that I've learned quite a few things. So. Well, let's go ahead and go to the agenda. So today we're going to talk about static versus instant variables. We're going to talk about arrays, for and for each loops and the difference between the two. We're going to look at some try, catch, and throws. We're going to discuss the character versus byte streams. We're going to write some data to a file, and then we're going to go through a demo. So let's go ahead and get started here. All right, static class variables. Static class variables are preceded with the static keyword. In this instance, we're creating a player. So the memory for this player is created at the beginning, and it will always be this player. And then that leads us to our non-static variables. As you can see here, we have a few non-static, and these are able to change. These are not preceded by the static keyword, um, but they are created in memory when they are called. All right, the next thing we're going to go over is the arrays. So we have three different types of arrays. The first one that we have is a simple array. As you can see here, we are creating a string array that holds a knife, shovel, and coconuts. This will be printed out. As you can see below, uh, over here, we print that out with a for each loop. And that's our simple array that just goes through, and those are always the same. They're not added to or taken away from. The next thing that we have is our list or array list. This is the same thing as an array, with the added benefit that you can add or subtract or edit the items that are inside of the array. And then we have the enum, which is the third version of the array. And we start out up here, we start out with listing the items that are in the array. And then we go ahead and we can add descriptions and different things to the enums based off of the value. We can add different attributes to those individual items that are in the enum. And those are all the arrays. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is our for and for each loops. Our for loop here is pretty simple. It's a zero-based for loop. So we start here with our for keyword, and then we create an integer variable which starts at 0, and then we iterate through that up to 4 times, and we add each time to that count. And while for each time this iterates through, it will print out our item that is inside the knife or the inventory list that we had created earlier. So that's how the for loop works. And the for each loop is a little bit more advanced, I think. First of all, we create a array which we call wreckage inventory. And what we're going to do is when we call down here the for, we are actually we're going to take um, our array and we're going to call it item, and we're going to iterate through our item list for every item that's in array, and it'll create all three. It'll perform all the functions inside the brackets for each of those iterations. And that is the for and for each loop. All right, the next section that we have is our error handling section. It's our try, catch, throw. And we're going to start out by talking about the throw, which is the exceptions that get thrown, get inserted. Um, Here we have we're throwing our game control exceptions. Those are the exceptions that we're using. If there is an exception, it will throw this game control exception to our get message, and that's printed out into an exception file. From there, we are doing our the try, which here in this example, what we are doing is we are trying to see if we can create a new file stream called FOPS. If we are, then we go ahead and create an output object, and we write some object to the game to that file. So so that's the try. It goes through and tries to do all this stuff. If it fails, then it goes to the catch, which the catch here catches the exceptions, and in this catch we are throwing our exception. So that's what the catch does. It performs whatever we want to happen if the try fails. So that's the throw, catch, try. All right, we're going to talk about characters versus byte streams. So first off, our character stream uh, really is anything that you want to display to the user right away. Um, it usually is done in 16 bits, um, and it's stuff that regular text or things that you want the user to see right away. File reader or file writer is an example of that. The next thing is our byte stream, which is processed in 8 bits. This is going to be more of our file input stream, file output stream. This is more for data and things that network connections, different things like that the user doesn't need to see. And so that's the character and byte stream. All right, we're going to now talk about the writing data to a file. Um, so here in this example, this is our error view example. We are using static variables for print writer. One is error file and one is log file. Um, and those get written out to a file uh, in the folder for our game. So what happens is if an error comes in, it passes the string and the class name into this print, and it gives an error, and it prints the message um, and records that into the file, which here's the error file, and that gets passed down um, also to the error message also gets passed down to the log file, which prints the log, the class name, and the error message. And then it goes ahead and closes um, the output, the log file, so that we're not constantly leaving that open and having any issues with that being open. So that's how it's writing to a file. All right, and let's go ahead and get to the demo. All right, we're going to do the demo for Stuck on an Island. We're going to start out by entering my name. And that brings us to the main menu. From here, we can select a few different options, such as the help menu. Gives us some information about the game, how to move, how to fix the raft, different elements like that. Exit back to the main menu, and we're going to start a new game. The end command takes us to the gameplay menu. From here, we obviously are able to play the game. And So we can go ahead and let's start by displaying our current location. We can see here it says that your map location is currently at 1-1, which is the starting location for our base camp. And that's based off of a two-dimensional grid for our map. From here we can go ahead and move to a new location. And you can see once we enter in the M command, it gives us our current health, asks us to enter in an X coordinate. We'll go 5 and 5. And that moves us to a new location. It says your new location is 5-5. You are now in the jungle, and your health was decreased to 90%, and that's based off of the amount of locations that we moved. From here, we can just check our inventory. We have a knife, rope, water bottle, flashlight, different stuff like that. So we can also go in and check, some of our other menus that we have. We have the tools that we can go in and see what tools are available, different things like that. We can exit back out to the gameplay menu, and that's what we were able to get done so far. And it was great working with the team, and I really learned a lot through implementing some of these practices that we have. So that's what we were able to get done. All right, so that concludes my individual presentation. Thank you, Brother Anderson, for all your help this semester, and I appreciate the opportunity I had to learn a lot about Java and a lot about object-oriented programming through this class. Thank you so much.